The governor of Washington now activating the National Guard in the manhunt for Travis Decker, the suspect in the murders of his 3 daughters. Governor Bob Ferguson issuing this statement here on social media saying, quote, "I am tapping emergency funds and ordering Washington National Guard resources to support the search for Travis Decker, who is suspected of killing his 3 daughters. At the request of the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, we will be providing helicopter transportation for law enforcement as they search in remote areas." And I do want you to take a good look here at Travis Decker. These photos circulating as folks are being asked to be on the lookout for him. Travis Decker has been on the run for about a week after investigators say he kidnapped his daughters in Wenatchee and killed them, leaving their bodies at a campground. Now, as you'd imagine, a mother is left mourning her daughters, and the mother's attorney, Arianna Cozart, joining us now live to talk. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us. Obviously, a very emotional situation, so we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I can't even begin to imagine what Whitney Decker is going through right now as she just tries to process this. So can you tell me how Whitney is doing overall?
She's doing better than I think anyone could ever expect. She's an incredibly strong woman, a strong mother, and her love for her children just really, I think the whole world can see it now. She is surrounded by friends and family. Her family has been incredibly supportive. Our community has been incredibly supportive. And Travis's family as well has been very supportive of her. I think at this time, she's just trying to grieve to the extent that she can. She's also assisting law enforcement with finding Travis or trying to find him. And she is already turning this into whatever positivity can come out of it with changes to our Amber Alert laws, as well as boosting resources for mental health for veterans. She's very passionate about both of those things. And I think she's just holding up really well. One of the things that she has said is when something like this happens, it's almost like an out-of-body experience. You are standing still and the world is still spinning around you. And I think that is very insightful as to the grieving process.
And I did want to show these photos that were provided of her 3 young daughters there. What does Whitney want to make sure that people out there know about her daughters, who they were, what they meant to her, and what they meant to so many other people?
I think Whitney wants people to know the true spirit of her daughters. They were little balls of light, I call them. They were full of kindness and positivity and love, even for their father. They were just, we are so incredibly blessed to have had them in the world. And I hope that people can just honor their memory by giving her and her family grace right now through this difficult time.
What message does Whitney want to get out there? We mentioned the Amber Alert. You were talking a little bit about that. So what message does she want folks out there to have?
There's systematic changes that need to be made in Washington State regarding the Amber Alert. The parameters of the laws and of the system didn't allow law enforcement to issue the Amber Alert because there was no obvious danger or something along those lines. And Whitney has some great ideas already about how to prevent that in the future when you have a parent who has the mental health struggles that are documented with the court, whose time and visitation is limited already by the court, and then they don't show up. And in this case, Travis Decker turned off his phone, which was something that he had never done before. And the police could not locate him immediately because of that. Then the Amber Alert should have been able to be issued immediately. And if that had occurred, it is a possibility, although we do not know yet, that those little girls would still be alive. As far as the mental health resources for veterans, Whitney had the strength to help Travis, or try to help Travis through his mental health issues as a combat veteran. And she saw firsthand the struggles that are involved for veterans trying to get help. Even when they seek it, it's impossible to get it here in Wenatchee and here in Washington, really across our nation. We are doing such a disservice to our veterans as far as providing them with resources, especially with mental health. And so that's a big passion of hers. It was prior to this tragedy, but now, excuse me, more than ever, as she thinks about her babies, that will always be in the forefront of her mind.
How does she feel? How do you feel about just all of the support that's come from not just that local area, but all over the country? How does that feel to you and, of course, to Whitney?
It's unbelievable. It's awesome. I just don't even know how to describe it. I know that she feels everyone's love and prayers and support and their grief, as well as her own. And as do we here in Washington, in the Wenatchee community. I think that we all feel the love that the world really has shown Whitney and for these girls. And I think that she is just in shock and in awe of the community support, of the support that we've received from strangers, in addition to, of course, the many, many people in our community that knew these girls, because they were very active little girls. They did theater, they did dance, they did sports. So they were loved by many.
We've heard from the sheriff's office. The sheriff himself has urged Travis to turn himself in. He said several times, if you're watching, turn yourself in right away. Is there any message that Whitney does want to get out to Travis if he is watching?
Whitney has not given me a specific statement for Travis, although I know she just wants him to turn himself in. She wants him to come back, I would say, to humanity. He's clearly lost. No one but a monster could do this. I don't think there's any argument about that. And she just wants him to come back. She needs peace, and this investigation needs to be able to be wrapped up so that she can have that peace, and really our community, our state, and our country can have some peace here.
Arianna, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and to share a little bit more information about those three young girls, and of course Whitney Decker, who is now left in mourning. Like I said, I can't even begin to imagine. Is there anything else you want to add before I let you go?
I think that Whitney just really wants people to honor her grieving process and to honor the memory of those three beautiful babies, and to really hold our politicians and our country accountable for veterans and for the things that they need, that they deserve, and that they've earned, and their families, sacrifice their families have made. We all deserve the resources that we deprive our veterans of. And that's something that I know Whitney just really wants people to understand, that this really could have been prevented.
Arianna Cozart, thank you again for taking the time to be here with us. We appreciate it.